Time to move on to our next coach this morning, the head coach of the Charleston Southern Buccaneers, Jamey Chadwell. Good morning, Coach.
Morning, Mark. How are we doing today?
I'm doing fine. Congrats on the victory over Liberty to move to finish in the Big South 3-2, 8-3 overall, and then you head over down to Georgia this Saturday for the regular season finale. If you can open up, talk about the victory over the Flames. We'll start taking questions and talk about the Bulldogs.
Well, Mark, it was a gratifying win for our program. We hadn't obviously beat those guys in about 8 years, and that went up at Lynchburg since the year 2000. So we had a lot of motivation going up there to play. I thought we played well in all phases. We obviously had some turnovers on offense, but to be able to put the points we did on the board and really control the clock, I was pleased. I thought we played our best, most complete game. And then defensively, we were opportunistic and got some turnovers and took advantage of those. And we made the special teams plays when we needed to. But it was just a great win. It was a great atmosphere. Obviously, Liberty's a really good team playing for the championship. But we wanted to put our best foot forward and go up there and prove that we belong in the playoff conversation. I thought we did that. And, now we come back and obviously getting ready to play a top 15 team in the country here at Georgia, and we all know how good they are, and the challenge that presents for us. But it's a wonderful opportunity for our program. Especially our Georgia kids, have a chance to go back home and play in Sanford Stadium and the tradition that place has. So we're looking forward to the trip and to close out our season, and looking forward to getting down there and seeing how we compete against the best of the best.
Thank you, Coach. At this time, we'll start taking questions for Charleston Southern head coach Jamey Chadwell. To ask a question, please press *1 on your phone at any time, or click the Q&A link near the top of your browser and click raise hand if you joined us via the web. Questions for Charleston Southern head coach Jamey Chadwell. Coach, first questions I have for you from a media member from covering Georgia with a Chattanooga, Tennessee telephone number. If you just introduce yourself before your question of Coach, and you can continue.
Hey, Coach. David Pascal up here at the Chattanooga Times Free Press. Hope you're doing well. I had a question. When you play a team like Georgia and you study them on film, if you had to pick the biggest concern when you're talking about going up against these 4-star, 5-star guys, is it the size of Georgia or the speed of Georgia that's most concerning?
Can I say both?
That's why I was asking you to pick one.
The size is obviously one thing, but I think it's just the speed at which they play. You feel like, hey, maybe we can do these things, but they're so fast they can run it down, so you feel like you got a chance to do something, but the speed just outplays, your athleticism. So it's really just the speed at which they play. We've not obviously played anybody that's capable of the level they are. And we've played big guys before, but the speed, just the way they attack people and run and come off the football, that's the challenge that we'll have to face, is trying to overcome that.
And I know you've played it in, Colorado last year, Vanderbilt earlier this year. But like you mentioned before, with so many kids from the state of Georgia, how do you guard against them kind of being wide-eyed when they walk into Sanford Stadium on Saturday?
Well, I don't know if there's anything you can do to guard against it. Our program in its past, and some of our kids have played Florida State, have played some of the best in the previous years. So there's not a concern even with the kids from there that, hey man, we're at the Mecca of college football. I don't think there's a concern there. The more concern is when the ball's kicked off and they're running by us. I think that's going to be when you start getting a little wide-eyed. Is, man, these guys are that good. But I think our guys will be in the moment. We've never had an issue in the 2 years that we played the Division I schools of being, this is too big for us. So I don't think that'll be an issue with our team.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dave. Next question for you, Coach, is someone based in Charleston. I don't have your name, but they're in the question queue.
Yes, sir. This is Chuck Winchester from the Goose Creek Gazette. Thank you for taking my question here, Coach Chadwell. Just real quick, made the drive up to Liberty this past weekend, and just an unbelievable win for your program. I believe it was the first win against Liberty in 9 years. Just wanted to know, Coach, what's the biggest difference between this team and this program the first day you took the job to now, where you're beating teams like Liberty, Coastal, in year 2 of running the show here?
Well, Chuck, I appreciate you calling us the second time in 2 weeks, man. So I appreciate you following us, and you made the trip up to Liberty. That's impressive. We don't get a lot of people to do that, so kudos to you. I think the main. I think the main difference there, Chuck, is that our team has a confidence and a belief in the coaching staff. We have a great coaching staff that does a great job of investing in our guys, and so they have a belief in them and what we're doing, and then they have a belief in themselves that hey, with what we do, how we play, playing for each other, that we can line up and have a chance to be successful. And I think that's why there's been a major turnaround there, and I feel like there's a lot of good players and want to be a part of what we're doing, and that helps. So those are the answers there, Chuck.
Yes, sir. I got two more for you, Coach. The first one being, state your case for the Big South Conference getting two teams into the playoffs. What are your thoughts on that and on the conference as a whole right now?
Well, I think for sure, our our conference deserves to. Obviously, if Liberty gets a win, this weekend, they get the automatic bid, and then Coastal will go for sure. If Coastal wins, then there's a question mark there. As far as if we'll get two in, but I'm under the impression that if Coastal wins, they're the automatic champion. That two teams from our league should go. We've got the #1 team in the country in our league, and our league is highly competitive. So it'll be a crying shame. I think if we don't get two teams in, if Coastal wins the league and only one goes, I think it's a sham, and I think they really need to look at the playoff system if we do not get two teams in our league from our league into the playoffs, because we're one of the top. Our conference has two or three, depending on how you want to look at it, of the top 24 teams in the country, and you can't. Nobody will change my mind on that or my opinion, no matter who we played or what we've had to do. Our conference is that level, and we need to be fighting for that to get two in.
Yes, sir. Just talk about where your team's at from an injury standpoint, with this being the 12th game of the year, and defensively, obviously you are a very physical defense, and offensively, you guys tend to stick to the ground game. Just talk about your injury report and how you guys are from an injury standpoint going into the UPA game.
Well, Chuck, we're banged up. Obviously, playing. Getting ready to go 12th like everybody. We've had a lot of nicks and knacks, especially coming back from the long trip. It was a 7 or 8 hour trip back, and had some issues getting back there. So we've got some guys that are sore and tired. Christian Reyes is beat up from the game. Obviously, he had a great game. He's beat up, but he should be able to go. Defensively, we got a couple D linemen that are banged up, but they shouldn't miss any playing time. Guys that didn't play in the game, Chris Jenkins, who's been a good all-around player for special teams, he's still questionable at this time, so we don't know how he'll be around game time. But we're hoping to get him back. But we're beat up, and that's part of football, and especially at this level, and especially when you're building a program, trying to get the things necessary to help them sustain during the season. But we hope we'll be able to go down there with our full complement and give it our best shot.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you for your time. That's all I got.
All right, Chuck. Appreciate you. Sorry about Goose Creek getting beat this weekend, too.
All right, thank you, Chuck. Coach, next question for you is a media member with a 908 area code, which is Clinton, New Jersey. So if that's you, please introduce yourself and continue with Coach.
Hey, Coach. How's it going? Connor Swonsky with the Red and Black at the University of Georgia. Thanks for taking some time to talk with us today.
Hey, Connor. Thank you.
I was just wondering, what you've seen from running back Nick Chubb this year on tape, and how does he compare to some of the other backs you face this year?
Well, he doesn't. Compare. He's by far. We've got some good backs in our league, no doubt, and we face some good backs. But he is, as for a freshman, he's phenomenal. He's his balance, the strength that he runs with, and then to add that with speed. I mean, he's by far the best player that I think we've seen overall, and really the time that I've been here in the last 2 years. I mean, he's pretty special, especially to be that young. So we're disappointed, to tell you the truth, that Gurley's not playing, because I think you want to play, you want to compete against the best that you have. And it's unfortunate he had an injury, but they won't miss much of a beat with Nick Chubb coming in there because of his just the explosiveness and the way he runs. He had the Auburn game. We're watching that game on the way back on the bus. And all of our defensive players are getting a little squirmish because they're seeing how good he is, and they got to try to tackle him. So we know it's going to be a big challenge, but our guys are excited about the opportunity.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you. And, Coach, I'm not seeing any more questions for you, so we'll go ahead and let you go.
All right, Mark, I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all very much.
All right, thanks, and good luck on Saturday.
All right, bye-bye.